EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland and M&T Bank Stadium. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run with a rookie drafted in the 3rd round. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And nothing to speak of there after the catch as they get him right to the ground at the 37. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. To throw is Jackson. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away. And incomplete. The Ravens at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13. This defense for the Dolphins, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
There's a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Flushed out right. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Dancing to his left. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. And it's 2nd down. You look at this Baltimore defense. They were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
One thing you always look for when you're evaluating a defense, how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get? How about last week's game? The number was 6. Phenomenal performance.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to fire one. Corner of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
They'll run. Here's Devon Achane. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Now the try here for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
In motion left is Beckham. Slot man moves right. They snap it at one. Now it's Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43. They run over center with Mitchell. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down at 7. Here's Jackson to throw. Finding Walker complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. And it's caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
2nd and 5. A run straight ahead with Achane. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He'll let this go deep for Waddle.
That's caught at the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Jalen Waddle.
75 yards. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the time.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted.
And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements. Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw, and that is incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. So they're going to go for it on 4th and 7.
Oh, they're changing this at the line. They'll go. Achane.
And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. Yeah, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
In motion, the tight end.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Play action. It's Jackson.
Connection with Walker going across the formation.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Jackson looking to throw on third. And complete. And the Ravens are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
A very important third down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up first and goal.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal.
They'll run with Mitchell.
And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal.
Once more with Mitchell.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Third and goal, Jackson. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. Throwing is Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And going deep for Hill. And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 79 yards.
And the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away.
And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores.
He'll buy some time right.
But looking deep here for Flowers.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. In motion goes the tight end. They go play action now. Jackson going deep for Walker.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Cam Smith. And, Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
And they finally bring him down, but he reaches reaches the 16.
96 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40.
Achane here. They stay on the ground. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. Up the middle, Achane.
And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 31.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
They'll run on first down with Wright.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
They'll work the middle here with Wright.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Achane.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
They'll run, Achane.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
Devon Achane
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack. Up the middle, here's Mitchell.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a third and about 14.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
4th down, here's Jackson. That's to his running back, complete. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. Being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Again, Jackson.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami.
Jalen Waddle
with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Dolphins have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th.
Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Jackson now. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Dolphins are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
And they'll go right back to right. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 29, here's 2nd down and 7. A give up the middle to right.
Oh, some strong running. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
53 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
The ball on the 8. Still could get a first down technically. 2nd and 7. On the handoff, it's right.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Now a give, running left is right.
And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. They're going to go for it now, 4th and 2. Remember, they can still get the first down at the 1-yard line, though.
They'll run for it. Here's Wright.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
You get down this deep, Charles, you hate to settle for a field goal. They roll the dice on 4th down, really just hoping to get that first. But as it turns out, they take it all the way into the end zone.
You mentioned that they took a little bit of a gamble there. Think about it this way. Most teams throw the ball in this situation in the NFL, so they really gamble with a running play, and boy, did it pay off. Pay dirt.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now Jackson on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good...
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Cam Smith.
And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line.
Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Here's Jackson. Rolling to his right. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete.
Second and 10.
Play action. Now Jackson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is caught. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early, but give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Dolphins, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.